okay, like I'm staying here for the rest of my life, sign it's like a normal life with like a remix. If you're new here, my name is Elise. I'm 22 years old and I moved to Germany for love. I'm just going to touch on the subject, like how my experience has been. If you want to maybe consider to do it yourself, then I hope that this video might help you in a way to set the mood. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. Oh, shout out to you, Amalie. I'm so excited for this candle. Okay, let's back up to 2019. I met this boy on actually a Christian convention. We officially started our relationship in 2019. We started doing long distance and it was pretty hard, I would say, considering it was another country, and on top of all that it was of course in the middle of COVID as well. As our love grew more and more, we just, you know, actually it was very romantic. He surprised me on an island in Norway, and it's pretty much also another story for itself, but it was pretty cute. I was so surprised. He not only surprised me, he also proposed at the same time, so we needed obviously to choose or to decide where to move. Norway, Germany, like what is the best, and for us it was pretty much the same where we went, but considering the circumstance, it didn't practically lay itself out for us in Norway in the beginning. Okay, now comes more of the juice of the video. It was like hard to come to terms with leaving my family behind and my life and everything in Norway. It was like either living happily ever after with the love of my life in Germany, or it would be to simply just die. Not to be dramatic, but you know, I actually used to be very homebound. I honestly cried just by the thought or just by talking about moving to Germany. It doesn't need to be forever. It's not that you're like writing a contract and like, okay, like I'm staying here for the rest of my life, sign, you know. It's not gonna be like that, but still it's a big change in your life. I've lived here now for 1 year. It does take a long time to feel at home somewhere. Obviously mentally I felt always at home because I was with my husband, but on the other hand, physically, like environmentally speaking, it wasn't so easy to feel that, oh, this is home, you know. So I would say it took like about almost a year for me at least to feel like, okay, this is home. Our first apartment we rented was it was a disaster, honestly. That's also a story for itself. It's been a ride, but now we have bought a house, so it's like much easier to make it more like a home, if you know what I mean. I have not been in a situation where I literally, you cannot do this without learning German kind of situation. In my job, I don't really need to speak German, if you know what I mean. So my motivation have not really been at the highest point, which I would have wished it was, but it's just maybe for me, it's been a little bit like difficult at times, especially like, okay, I have to say I have not made a single friend. I'm just extremely introverted and I've been like very like in my own bubble. Kind of ironic, but let's say you're not married, you're just in a relationship or something and you consider to move. I would say that you would feel it inside if you feel like the relationship will last and it's worth it. You cannot do long distance, for example. It can be very painful, and if you think that you can do it and you're willing, no matter the consequences in the future, I would say just go for it. Like, it's a kind of once in a lifetime like opportunity. I don't think you will regret it. Of course, if the relationship ends, it's like another story, but at least you have experience. So if nobody really wants to move, but you're kind of deciding that you want to spend your life together, but the thing is, if you can move but don't really want to move for that cause, then I think is it really worth it then? Is it real love? Like, or I think each person sees that for themselves, but if the other person doesn't want to sacrifice that for you, I feel like why should you then sacrifice so much for that person if they can't do the same for you? I think maybe in many situations the main reason is the practical part, what is more easy and best for you. As for the pros and cons, there are obviously tons and tons of them, but I want to touch on just a few things. It's very important to kind of change your mindset before you move. Like, try to do research and plan a little bit ahead. For me, I was in the middle of wedding planning and all that kind of stuff, so I did not have time to really think about that stuff. If you know it pretty like far ahead or before, I really suggest doing that. So missing your family and friends, it's a given, like you will do that. It will not be like before. You will not be able to make new memories, like in person type of thing, you know what I mean? Like, okay, very grateful for FaceTime and stuff like that. It's not the same. You lose something, it doesn't need to be lost, but like in everyday life, you will kind of miss that, you know. You need to kind of make a lot of effort into establishing your new life. You kind of can choose kind of yourself. So you need to put that really extra effort into everything you do. Learn a new language, get to know the culture, and just get new friends, just establish your life, and which can be exhausting and confusing at times, and it's just a big thing, so you have to kind of expect that you will not live the life you lived before. It will be completely different what you do and stuff like that, who you hang out with, and it doesn't need to be completely bad, but it's just something that really, it just comes with it, you know. So how can I explain it? You live your life. I live a normal life, right? But it's kind of like with a twist, like it's like a normal life with like a remix. It's just that major change that are like with you all the time. If you move for love and you're sure, and you're like, if you're getting married, for example, of course, I think in all cases it's worth it to move. And if you figure out that you don't enjoy life in that particular country, doesn't need to be forever, you know. Everything will be more exciting. You will live a more, I wouldn't say colorful life, but you get just new people around you, new surroundings. Like, it's such a, like, it's so giving. You learn so much, you grow much more as a person, I think. Person. And you just have to be good to reach out to people. And, you know, if you lose people during that process, I feel like in the end, like at the end of the day, maybe it's just for the best, you know. And one thing that I kind of had to remind myself through everything is that for me, like, I lost kind of everyone I knew. They missed only one person, so for them it's like, you know, you see the difference. I lose everything, they lose one person, so they have everything they have, but it's just me that's missing, you know. I have to really put that extra effort and really try a little bit harder, I think, to reach out and stay in touch and stuff like that. It's hard to stay in touch with everybody like all the time because, like I said, it's so many people. I think that my mindset is just like, love is much more important than everything else, you know. I want to be like happy, and I think that in the long run you're happy rather than, oh, that's the dream job, or oh, I want to pursue this and that. And at the end of the day, of course, when you're young, you should pursue things, you should experience things and stuff like that, and nothing against that. That's like a big priority. And it's not that when you do move for love or something like that, that just, you cannot do anything anymore. Like, there's still lots of opportunities, but if you're not sure about the relationship in the like long-term type of thing, you need to be really sure, because it's such a big change to move. And if then it doesn't go how you expected, then you have to like again start from scratch, which can be pretty exhausting. You feel it inside. People who have been in my situation, they also know exactly what I mean. Like, it's the feeling where when you know, like, if you cannot do the long distance anymore, or you cannot like live without the other person, or it's just so many negative parts being apart. Do you want to like lose that over staying in your comfort zone all the time? Like, I don't think that's worth it. So it's just a little bit about my experience. I am a Christian, I trust in God, and I'm not scared or anything. I put my trust in Him, and I just, you know, relax and take it as it comes, you know. And if there are hardships that comes along, like, there's nothing that's too big to be like solved, I think. So this is just my experience. and I'm sure nobody else has that experience. Like maybe some few points are similar, but it's like so different also which country you move to, what background you have, and whatever it is. So if it makes you happy, then do it. If you are not sure, I would not do it. So I will see you guys very soon again. Bye.